First of all, welcome everyone to Twitter, what it is and how it works. I'm Vicki, your GetSetUp guide. If we have any folks who are new to GetSetUp community, I'd like to welcome you. So glad that you're with us. What are we going to talk about today? So we're going to start by making sure everybody understands, what is Twitter? Why is it so popular? And then I'm going to show you how to navigate through the app. How do you control what you see on your timeline? How do you customize the content that's being served up to you? We're also going to talk a little bit about these thing called tweets. How do you interact with these tweets? What can you do? How do you create and post your own tweet? So these are the things that we're going to be covering today and more. So what is Twitter? What is this thing, Twitter? It's referred to as a social networking app. So it really has kind of taken off in popularity because it's all about finding and sharing what we call these bite-sized posts, also known as tweets. So for those of you maybe who are on other social media, maybe it's Facebook or Instagram, you're used to seeing posts that can be a few paragraphs in length. Twitter is very different. With Twitter, you're limited to 280 characters within a post, and that's actually quite small. So Twitter serves up these, really, we call them bite-sized posts. They're really very short tweets. And another interesting thing about Twitter is that you don't have to friend someone on Twitter. You don't have to request, a connection. You can literally connect to people around the world. You can post something, and it's not just your friends who see it, but anyone who is on Twitter who is interested, who follows along maybe a certain topic or maybe even follows you, will see your post. And the opposite is true too. You can connect with people around the world. You don't have to be friends with them on Twitter. So it's very easy to be able to see what's going on in the world and being able to connect, to a global audience. And it's all about kind of sharing thoughts, what's happening. So, why should I use Twitter? And I always like to say that, it's much more than knowing about what your friends or what your brother-in-law had for lunch. So Twitter is an app that allows you to get information literally about what is happening right now. It is, believe it or not, one of the leading sources for what we call social discovery and news events. So I'm going to show you how you can select different topics that you might be interested in just to get you started. And immediately you're going to see, different tweets about those events that are happening in real time. So as I mentioned, you can contact any person or any organization in the world if you have that has a Twitter account. And I also like to let people know that if you're on Twitter, you don't have to post anything. You don't have to tweet anything to use Twitter. You can just view information as it comes in. And you can follow people that you find, interesting. You like their posts. You can follow them so that you can see more of their posts. So it's really this amazing app, which kind of provides you access to this global access and to understand sort of what's happening in the world today. So who's on Twitter other than your brother-in-law? A lot of reporting agencies use Twitter, marketers, social movements. also use Twitter. So for folks who remember the Arab Spring, maybe that was one of the big, the first social movements that actually used Twitter. And the reason why they gained sort of momentum with their social movement is because they were on Twitter and people were able to literally show the world what was happening with just these short tweets. Because you can, with a tweet, you can attach videos, images. And so they were able to have this immediate global audience and let people know what was happening, moment to moment. Who else uses Twitter? Athletes, athletic organizations, politicians, actors, influencers, anybody really. And then there's, just regular people like you and me. So you're going to see that there's so many different types of people, organizations that use Twitter. So let's talk a little bit about, let me just enable this. Sorry, I just saw the transcripts. They're on now. Let's talk a little bit about getting started. So Twitter runs on, you can run it from your PC, and it also runs on mobile devices, your smartphone and your tablet. You can download the Twitter app. It's free from the App Store, the Play Store. On your desktop, you can go to twitter.com. And today I'm going to be using my phone to show you what Twitter looks like when you're using it on a mobile device. Once you've downloaded the app, it's going to ask you to sign in. And so you'll sign in. Twitter's going to ask you for your username, to provide a username. This is also known as your Twitter handle. And this is the name that your followers are going to use in order to contact you on Twitter if they do that. You'll provide your phone number, email address. Like every other, social app, you're going to be asked for a verification code to enter. And then you're good to go. It's going to ask you to set up your profile. And let me show you what that's going to look like. So if you'll just give me a second, I'm going to rearrange my screen. And I'm going to bring in my phone here. And so I want to show you what this looks like on my phone. So here is my Twitter app. I'm going to tap on it and it brings up, Twitter. And let me bring up my annotate. I'm going to bring up my drawing tool. Yeah, that's what I want. I associated for my Twitter profile, I have a picture here. So when you tap on that icon in the upper left-hand corner, you may not have a picture with your profile. This brings you to your profile. And this is what you're going to be setting up. This is what I'm showing you in the slide to the left. And so with your profile, if I were to tap on profile, it's going to ask you to fill in information. And I'm going to just tap edit profile there. And what it will do is it will ask you when you first install Twitter, you may want to add a quick bio. Who are you? And again, this is optional. So you might want to add a little bit about yourself. Make sure you have your name there. Let me just go back into edit profile. Do you want to add your location where you're currently, located, obviously your city, state? Do you have a website? This might be useful if you're trying to promote yourself or you want people to visit your website. And then you'll just tap on save. And then I'm going to tap on cancel. And that's what it takes. You just fill in your profile. You can fill in as much or as little, and then tapping on save, you're done. You've done your profile. And when you tap on this little back button, And if you want, again, you can associate a picture, an image with your profile, and then you're back. And this is what the main screen looks like. So I just wanted to show people, for those of you who are interested, this is how you can set up your profile. You can always tap on your profile icon at any time and edit it once you've started using Twitter.
I have a question.
Sure.
If you don't have a picture or want to put a picture up, what would be there?
It would be an outline, almost similar to what it looks like for contacts. You would just see a profile, a person's profile here. It's probably like blue or something. So you would see a little image here that looked like a profile of a head.
Oh, okay.
You'll recognize it. Yeah. You'd be like, oh, that's a contact. That's the generic image that a lot of apps use.
Okay.
When you don't have your profile picture. And you don't have to put a picture up there or a photo of yourself if you don't wish to. It can be an image of anything. Do you like flowers? Do you like, something that is representative of you? Do you have a logo? Yep, it's all good.
I have a question.
Great. Sure, Linda.
Yeah. So the information you put in, of course, your name is a given, but anything else, your birth date, your location, all of those things, your business, that's all available to anybody who may look on this.
Yes.
So there's no there's nothing private. It's all public information that could be mine for whatever reason.
On Twitter, yeah. And again, remember, people who are on Twitter who are posting, they want to be located. They're either promoting their organization or themselves, whether it's a sports organization or the Wall Street Journal, or yes, exactly. So if you put your website on there, for example, it's so that when people follow you, they can access your website, or they can contact you. Yep, that's exactly what it's there for. And
but if you put your location, it could be used to find you, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't have my location on there.
I'm just thinking of worst case scenarios.
The location also, I think, may be used to serve up some content that is local to you. That's another reason why they ask for location. So I didn't put my location in there. You can, it's optional. That's what the nice thing is. So, yep.
Thank you.
You don't have to. You're welcome. So let's talk a little bit about getting the information you want. All right. So what you're seeing here when I open up my Twitter app is, this is really the main page. So what I've done is, I'm going to move my little caption. Sorry. I have tapped on at the very bottom, you'll see that there's this little icon bar. When I tap on that little home, little house icon, it always brings me to my home page. And this is where you see your timeline. Let me scroll up to the top. So when you first go into Twitter, one of the things you'll be able to do when you're setting up your profile, it will ask you if you would like to also start specifying which topics are of interest to you, so that it can begin serving you, can begin sending you different tweets on your timeline. And so I think I selected space as one of my topics of interest. And so this is why this is the space station. This is what it looks like. They're having a meal here. And it looks like pizza or something, I don't know. And as I start, I'm taking my finger and I'm swiping up. As I start scrolling through, this is my timeline. You're seeing different tweets, posts, messages from that match my interests. So I also, I'm a South Bay, person. So I like to look at the local news. That's why I'm seeing those tweets. I see SpaceX. And I'm going to show you how there'll be more and more tweets served to me as I start adding more areas of interest. So I just started, to add a few. There's something about Star Wars. I'm interested in the environment. So that's why I see some Greenpeace. So this is really, what you're going to start to see in the beginning. And then you'll also see as you scroll down, they always have this who to follow. And I'm not quite sure why some of these are being suggested. And these are just suggestions. So you can tap on follow. Those tweets will be sent to you in your timeline. So that's what we're looking at. So here you go. Expand your timeline with topics. I'm going to get into this in just a bit. I'll show you how you can even add more areas of interest. And so this is what it looks like. We're just, some of these are, you may see some promotions in your timeline. I'll show you how you can just get rid of those. You're always going to see some promotions, some suggestions. You may also see something called retweets. We'll talk about that. That's when someone, you see a tweet, you're like, wow, this is great. I want to get this word out to more people. I'll show you how you can interact with a tweet and retweet it. It's sort of like reposting it. That's basically what you're doing. So this is what you're seeing in this timeline on your homepage. And it's all, I think I said one of my topics was the Olympics. And so I'm going to see a whole bunch of things going on in the here and now for the Olympics. And so again, this is all just current. What is happening right now? And some of these tweets may be a little bit older, but I'm also going to show you how you can change the view of your tweets. So this timeline over here, you'll notice that there is this little star icon at the very top. So you have two different ways of viewing your timeline. You can view it in sequential order. The newest tweet comes up top, or you can view it in what's called the home view. And that's where Twitter is going to recommend some additional tweets, kind of based on this algorithm that it uses. So I'm going to tap on that little star icon in the upper right-hand corner. Right now, I'm viewing everything in my home view, which is why I see a number of different suggestions coming through from Twitter. If I want to switch to what's called more the sequential view, the latest tweets, I can tap on that option and it's going to switch. And now I'm going to see at the top of my timeline, let me just scroll up there. I think I was down in the middle. Sorry, this can make you dizzy. Now I'm going to see the latest, like what happened, what was posted 3 seconds ago kind of thing. And so it's going to keep on updating every time there's a new post. Because I'm in this latest tweets mode, it's going to put that latest post right at the very top of my timeline. And so I follow the Wall Street Journal, which is why I'm seeing some, Wall Street Journal. So this is really where you can just get the latest and greatest information. And again, you can always change your view simply by tapping on the little star icon in the upper right-hand corner and switching back and forth between the home view or the latest tweets view. So just something interesting there to know about. This is how you can start viewing. And it takes a little while to get comfortable, understanding what you're seeing here. And remember, these are really bite-sized pieces of information. Some tweets may have a picture, an image. Some tweets may have, this is an example, by the way, this Truebill, Budget. This is an advertisement, and they want you to install their app. Some tweets will have videos. Some may have links to a website. You can put a lot of different things in a tweet, but just know that there are these bite-sized small pieces of information. And we'll go through this in more detail. Okay, customizing your timeline content. So how do you start, saying, I really only want to see these type of posts, these tweets. This is what we mean by customizing your timeline content. So I showed you how you can switch back and forth between the two views. How do you start following people? Now, remember when you first download and install or download Twitter, as part of the setup process, it's going to ask you to select some areas of interest, just so it can get started, understanding what types of topics, what types of things are you interested in receiving information about. Then there are other ways that you can further customize what is being served up to you, what is being sent to you. And one of the ways is, let me just move this over here. Sorry, I'm just rearranging. You can go to a website that you're interested in. So what I've done is I'm coming up here. I'm just going to go to the, I think it's NewYorkTimes.com. Well, let me do it. Yeah. So you can bring up just about any single website that you are interested in, any website. And if you go down to the very bottom, let me scroll down to the bottom here. Where is come on, keep going. Oh, sorry about that. Let me just keep scrolling. At the very bottom, you will always see, let it just keep finishing. There are, is it going to show my Twitter? Yeah, it should show it here. For whatever reason, let me go back to the Wall Street Journal. This is a good example. Wall Street Journal, whoops. I know where it is on the Wall Street Journal. I'm already following the Wall Street Journal, but let me just give you an example. For some reason, I just wasn't finding it on the New York Times. And the New York Times does have this. So any website, just about every single website, if you scroll down to the bottom, you will see those little icons that I was showing you. Let's go down here. These are the social media icons. If you were to click on the little birdie, the Twitter icon, what you're doing is you are now following this particular, in this case, the Wall Street Journal. So from any website that you typically visit, that you read, whether it's a blog or in this case, a paper, they will have at the very bottom of their website links to social media. And when you click on a link, when you click on an icon, in this case, Twitter, what you're now doing is following that, in this case, the company, the Wall Street Journal, their paper. So I just wanted to show you how you can follow a company or person, whoever has a website. You'll also notice in your timeline I showed you that there is the, who to follow. You'll see that from time to time. And it'll probably be further down here, but as you scroll down, and you saw it earlier, there'll be that section of who to follow. And they're making suggestions based on topics that you've already told them that you're interested in. And you'll see the word follow next to the post, next to the tweet, and you can simply start following this person, this organization, whether it's a sports team. So that's also really helpful. Another way that you can start to look for people to follow, organizations to follow, is down at the bottom. So we talked about the home screen, the little house icon. You'll also notice that there is this little icon, the magnifying glass. This is the search icon. So if you tap on search And then you'll see up here, search Twitter. You can tap in the search Twitter and just literally search for something. Maybe it's, I always use this one. This is entertaining. If you're a George Clooney fan, there you go. You can search for, George Clooney. I don't even know if this may be his Twitter. You could then simply tap on follow, and you could be following George. I don't even think this is his. It might be. So that's how you can use the search. I'm going to tap on search one more time because I want to show you. If we go into the Twitter search over here, I'm going to tap on GetSetUp. So GetSetUp has its own Twitter account. And you'll see there's the follow button. So when you find an organization, a person, a movement, a place, maybe it's a museum that you want to follow, or a particular resort, there are Twitter, accounts for everything. When you find an organization, someone that you're interested in following, all you need to tap on is the follow button. And now I'll tap on maybe later. And now I am following GetSetUp. So when I go to my timeline by tapping on that little home button, after a few minutes, you'll see whenever there is a new post, a new tweet that's been posted by someone who's following GetSetUp, I will see it here in my timeline. And so this is just one way of how you can search for something, for someone, and then start following them. And again, what you'll see in your timeline is you'll start to see tweets from that organization now or that person. So this is how we can start to customize what we see in our Twitter. It's also known as the feed, our Twitter feed. For those of you who maybe use Facebook, you may know, the Facebook feed. So another way that you can customize what you see, in addition to searching for people, following people, you also can go up to, I'm just going to, whoops, everybody still there? Okay. Ellen, can you still see me? I may have froze. No, you can still see me.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I have like something's working here. All right, thank you for that. I have one of my monitors just froze, but that's okay. We'll make it happen. Let me close this down. So what you're seeing here, I'm going to go up. Let me just resize this here. I'm going up to my little profile. I'm going to tap on my profile in the upper left-hand corner. And then I'm going to tap on topics over here. Whoops, let me bring this back. We had a little snafu here. Give me a sec, folks. I have to bring my phone back. It's coming. Sorry about that. Let's bring this over here. Come on, give me a sec here. I'll start this up again. Sorry, every once in a while, my network just is not happy. And when that happens, things start to shut down. So just give me a second. Let's go for this. Let me move it out here. Does anybody have any questions so far about what we've been talking about Twitter in general? I'm just going to start this.
I have kind of a general question.
Sure.
Okay, so things that are on Twitter, do they stay there forever? So somebody who, if you're following somebody and they tweet 5 times a day and they've been on Twitter for 5 years, is there line? I mean, is there such a buildup of, or after a while, are things kind of drop off or deleted?
I think after a while, that's a great question. And I've been trying to find information about that because other people have asked me, and it's like, and I've been trying to search, and I don't know if I would say it's on there forever, but you will see as you scroll through Twitter, things will be there for at least a week or so. And I'll see if I can find out, how long our tweets kept for. I was searching for that the other day and I couldn't find it, but I mean, I don't know if they're kept for years. Maybe you could probably search for that. So, but great question. Thank you.
In my case, I'm looking to ways to communicate with a company if I'm unhappy with the service or have a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hopefully get into that area.
So that's interesting. And what you're going to see is you can certainly post something, and you'll see this too if you are unhappy with an airline. That's a perfect example. You can follow that airline, and they do have people that's their job, is to watch the posts that are coming in on social media such as Twitter. And so if there are enough people that are posting tweets that are tweeting about, I received horrible service, I'm not happy with this, you're letting your voice be known. So that's part of what Twitter is too. I don't know if you can contact someone directly. Well, you should be able to, but you also can. I'm sorry.
I just want to learn how to post to get their attention. That's all.
Sure. We're going to cover that too. Yeah. And that's what you're doing. You are kind of voicing your displeasure. So thank you for that. All right. So it looks like we're back. Thanks, folks, for being, patient with me. We're not talking about hashtags just yet. What I did was I tapped on my little user profile and brings me to my profile screen. And I wanted to show you how, if you tap on topics, this is how you can go back after you've initially selected different, your original set of topics that you're interested in. You can come over here, scroll down, and you'll see where it says suggested topics. You can just start. I'm swiping to the left. Are there specific business personalities? Are you interested in digital, YouTube, movies, tech news? You can simply, are there funny tweets? All you need to do is just tap on the plus sign, and you will then begin to see those types of tweets from these topics show up in your timeline. And again, I'm just scrolling to the left. So you have different ways of doing this. You can go into your profile, select topics, start tapping the add button next to areas of interest. You know that you can tap on the search icon at the bottom and then search for someone, an organization that's specific, and start following them. So this is how you can really start, customizing what you see. And again, that was, you go into your profile and select topics. And remember, when you're selecting a topic, any tweets that kind of fall into that topic will be sent to you. And then you can further say, I'm not interested in this kind of a tweet. Don't serve this to me. So you're kind of, selecting a wide range of tweets by selecting a topic, which is fine, because if you're thinking to yourself, I don't even know where to start here. Well, start, a little bit wider, wider range, select a topic, and then I'll show you how you can go through and start getting rid of specific tweets. Even though it's in the topic you you selected, you may say, oh, I'm just not interested in this particular person. So I'm going to tap on my back button to get me back to my home page. And I also want to talk a little bit about this thing called hashtags. So as you scroll through your timeline, let me see if I can get one that has a lot of hashtags. Well, that's one. You will find that tweets typically have what's called a hashtag. And what a hashtag is, it starts off with what we know is the pound sign, but this is what the hashtag is. So it's the pound sign followed by a phrase or word. So in this Wall Street Journal post, this tweet, Wall Street Journal, what's now? That's one example of a hashtag. And on my slide, I give you some examples of hashtags. And really the purpose of a hashtag, it's a label. So when you are either searching for things that are of interest, so when you tap on the search button over there, you can search specifically. Let me just go back here. You can search specifically on a person's name, or you can use a hashtag. So for example, if I were to select hashtag, I'll just use Medicare, just so that you can, so Medicare for all or Medicare. That's another way of being able to find a particular organization or topic that you're interested in, is by using one of these hashtags. And again, you'll see that as you scroll through your tweets on your timeline, different tweets may use multiple hashtags. And again, a hashtag is nothing more than a label. And it helps when you're creating your own post as well. It helps categorize your tweet to make it easier to find. And so that is a hashtag. Just wanted to mention that because it does play a big role when we're talking about, in this case, Twitter.
So can you go, I'm sorry, I
No,
didn't
go
mean
ahead.
to interrupt your sentence.
No.
Can you go into where the hashtag is, like hashtag Medicare? Can I click on that and it'll take me to Medicare or no?
If I tap on hashtag Medicare, what it's going to do is bring up a list of tweets, Ellen, that have that hashtag embedded within them.
Okay.
So yeah. And what's really nice is within a tweet, so we have more of these, you may find tweets that have, like this one has a lot of different hashtags. And this may also help you understand, further refine your search. So for example, hearing aids. Oh, that's something that I'm actually interested in. You might want to then work with hashtag hearing aids, to help you further refine what you're looking for. So yes, you can tap on any of these hashtags. These are live links.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Question.
you may, yeah, sure.
So go back up to where you just were with all those hashtags. How did they get there? Was that put in by Twitter that sees these words and use and develops them, or does the author of this tweet enter all those hashtags? It's
the author, and I'm going to show
you. Author has to
when
identify those as things. Okay, it's not that it's that it's digitally looking at the text and pulling words out.
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
We
Thank you.
talked about hashtags. Let's talk a little bit about how you can interact with tweets. So this gives you the opportunity to even further refine what you're interested in. So let's do, I'm right here where it says, we'll just stay on this tweet. Let me bring up my annotate. If I I can either tap on the 3 dots over there, or let me show you another way of directly interacting. So for each tweet, you will see these icons at the bottom of the tweet. Every tweet has this. And what are they used for? So the first icon, the little bubble, if I tap on that, it enables me to actually send a reply. So if there's a tweet that I was particularly interested in, I could tap on that little bubble and I could tap out a reply saying, wow, this is great information. Thank you so much for posting this. And then I could tap on the reply button. And that's one of the ways you can interact, comment on a tweet. I'm going to tap on cancel. And by the way, when you interact with a tweet, it tells Twitter, this person took the step to actually reply or comment on a tweet. They're probably interested in this tweet. We're going to, serve up more like this. This little icon over here, when you tap on it, this enables you to retweet a tweet. You're basically reposting it. And so it's coming from you. You can either just simply retweet it, repost it, or you can quote the tweet on another post that you're making. So that's what that little icon is for. The little heart icon, when you tap on this, it likes it. You're liking the tweet. Again, it goes into this algorithm that Twitter uses. If you like something, they're like, you like this. Maybe I'm going to start serving up, sending you additional tweets like this. And then that's the share button. If I tap on that share button, this allows me to then share the link. I could share the link. I could text it to someone. I could email it to someone. So they don't have to have a Twitter account. You're just sharing the link and they're able to view it directly from the link. So I'm just going to tap on cancel. And so again, every tweet has these these icons available. This is how you can, what we call interacting with a tweet. And if I were to just, whoops, I didn't want to do that. If I were to simply tap on the tweet itself, if I were just to tap on this tweet, it shows me the details. But one of the nice things is if I were to tap on that, it doesn't have, right now, this doesn't have a lot of comments. This particular one that I selected, when you tap on a tweet, if it has lots of comments, you'll see it down when you scroll down to the bottom. I just picked one that is still kind of, early on in the day. People haven't been commenting, but simply tapping on the back button here gets you back to your list of tweets. And so this is the way that you can start to interact with a tweet. You don't
Where do
have
you
to,
tap on the tweet?
anywhere.
Yeah,
Sure.
anywhere?
Anywhere. Just
Oh,
boop,
okay.
open it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The other thing that I wanted to show you is for a tweet, you'll see this little teeny dot, these 3 dots here. I know it's kind of hard, but if you tap on those 3 dots, and this one was posted 21 minutes ago. That's what the 21M stands for. If I tap on those 3 dots next to and every single tweet has this, this is where you can start to let Twitter know, this tweet's not helpful. Don't send me this kind of stuff anymore. You can, I think on my next screen, give me 1 second here. There we go. So this tweet's not helpful. Don't send these kind of tweets to me. I don't want to see this anymore. You can follow this particular person. Lists we don't talk about here, but it's another way of customizing what you see on your feed. Then you'll see there's mute. If I was following this person, you would see unfollow. So you can always select a tweet that's in your timeline and you can unfollow it, which means you will not get tweets from this person, this organization anymore. You're not following them. Twitter will not send you, will not put their posts on your timeline. If you mute someone, which is nice, you will stop seeing someone's tweets on your timeline, but they don't know that you've muted them. This is different. So we have unfollow, mute, and block account. When you unfollow someone, the person that you're unfollowing, they get a notice like so-and-so unfollowed you. So they know that you've stopped following them. If you mute them, you no longer see their tweets on your timeline, but they don't know that you've muted them. So you're kind of doing, like undercover. And then if you block someone's account, then you're literally blocking any kind of access, contact with them. So they can't see your tweets. They can't contact you. You've just completely blocked them. So that's what the difference here is. And again, I got to this menu by tapping on the 3 dots next to the tweet. So I just wanted to show this to you. The next thing that I'm going to show you is how do you create your own tweet. So I'm going to tap off of this menu. So of course, Twitter has recently changed this. They no longer have the feather on their icon. Instead, if you want to create your own tweet, you'll tap on the plus sign, and you can find this plus sign no matter where you are in Twitter. So you tap on that plus sign, the icon with the plus in it, and you can then, I'm just going to delete this. You can then just start typing away. What do you want to say? Great Twitter class with GetSetUp. There we go. Today. All right. This is fascinating. What can I say? So when I'm creating my tweet, I have a number of things I can do here. I can add a hashtag. So let's see, where's my hashtag? I can probably do, I think GetSetUp. I think that's one of our hashtags. Hashtag GetSetUp. I can do hashtag older adult education hashtag. You can have as many hashtags here as you wish to help put labels on your post so that more people, they may show up in people's timeline. So you can add a hashtag here. You'll also notice down here, you can, if I tap on one of these icons, I can add a photo. I'm just going to tap on cancel, or I can tap on a photo, add, and it's added a photo to my to my Twitter. When you, let me go ahead and just delete that. I'm going to tap on my X right over here. You can also add videos. You can add a GIF over here. And these are just these, I'll just tap on one. There we go. You can add photos, videos, you can add websites. This is just an animated GIF over here, and then when I tap on the X, I'll delete it. You can add just text. You can enter in a poll. That's what all of these are here for. You could add a poll saying, how's everyone feeling today? Great, not so great, fabulous. And there are lots of different options here. I also want to show you that is an indicator that lets you know how much of that 280 character limit you used up. So, as you continue typing, you'll see that it keeps filling up more and more, that little circle. Oh, so Brenda, you still have a feather on your plus sign? Okay, maybe you're working off of a slightly older version of Twitter. It could be. Mine changed recently, so that's so interesting. So this is how you're going to start adding a tweet. You can add a URL here. Do you have a website that you want to add? So it can be text, it can be photos, it can be videos. You can, select videos that you've recorded on your device, polls, websites. This little icon over here, it allows you to, if you put in your location, you can then say, you can pin yourself and just say allow once. This is my location, Los Cados Creek Trail. And again, you don't have to do this if you don't wish to. So sometimes people say, hey, I'm here at Starbucks, in San Francisco. If that's what you want to do, wonderful. And then once you're ready, you're going to tap on the tweet. And my tweet has been posted. So where do you find your tweets? Well, first of all, if we tap on the back button, I'm going to keep tapping on my back button. Actually, let me do it the fast way. I'm going to tap on my home button over here, scroll up to the top until I see my little profile icon, tap on my profile icon. And then once you're in your profile icon, if I tap on profile once more, so you see, I like to let people know that I'm teaching Twitter. These are my most recent tweets. And if you wanted to delete a tweet that you've posted, go into your profile, find your tweets, find the tweet that you wish to delete, tap on the 3 dots, and then you can tap on delete your tweet. So that's how you can delete tweets that you've created. So
I have a question.
Sure, yeah.
When you want to communicate with a company, you put in the hashtag, you put the company name in, then do you immediately start to tweet the message after the company name? Is that how it's done?
So what you can do is, let's just say I'm going to tap on the search button instead of Medicare. Let's just do, I don't know, United Airlines. I'm finding, there's United Airlines. I could follow them. If I tap on the plus sign here, now that I'm on United Airlines, I'm not going to follow them, but if I tap on a plus sign, because you'll see that it says at United, and this is what we call a mention. And so when I tweet something now, if I were just to start typing in my tweet at United, had a, I don't know, great flight to Austin yesterday.
What do you do if you're not following them? That's what I'm trying to find out. if you want to
Yeah, you can
communicate.
still, because you can still tap on tweet, that plus sign, and then this @United, if I tap on tweet, what it'll do is my tweet was sent, and United, because it's @United, it will, that mention, that @ will mention them, and it'll be picked up by them. They'll see the tweet. So, but I would probably, you might want to follow them as well if that's something that's of interest to you.
Okay.
And yeah, you can then just see, and these are all the different people that have posted something. Let me just show you.
Well, what's the
And you
difference
see-
between, what's the difference between @ and the hashtag then?
So with the @ is it's what's called a mention. And when you mention someone, they get a notification that they've been mentioned in your tweet. So United is always looking for these mentions, because then they can see who's been posting what, and they can reply to them as well. So that's what the mention is, versus that. The hashtag is just to allow you, it's a label. It's allow you to categorize your, put a label on your tweet so that other people can easily find it. The mention literally will send the person that you've mentioned using that @ symbol a note, a notification letting them know that they were mentioned in a tweet. And so they'll get that notification. So they'll know that you've mentioned them.
Well, thank you for clearing that up.
Yep. And go ahead and experiment. That's what I do. Just go in and start using it. We are up on our hour. So this is crazy. This goes by so quickly. I really want to, thank you for your great questions today. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. And I hope that the goal for today was to start getting you comfortable navigating Twitter. There's a lot there, maybe get you interested in using Twitter. It's a free app. You can install it, download it, set up your account. It takes like a minute. And then start selecting topics that are of interest to you and see what comes up in your feed, your timeline. You know that you can tap on the 3 dots next to a tweet and say, I'm not interested in this, like, don't send this to me anymore. And so that's how you can start really customizing what you see in your Twitter feed, your timeline. And you can search for people, places, things that you're interested in, follow them and see what they have to say. So it's all about getting comfortable with the interface, knowing what you can and can't do. Even if you don't want to post a tweet, you don't have to, but you can certainly see information as it's unfolding. So that was the goal for today's class. And remember, this is just basics. It's a beginner class. And I hope people found this interesting, useful. It was great to see everyone today. Thank you, Clark, for all of your help.